what I call a natural. He's kind of like Al Roker, sweetheart. Yeah. He's charming and kind. And he has a daughter that we've watched grow up. She's actually very tall. She's 6'2"?
6'3".
She a jock? Or...
Oh, yeah. She's an incredible volleyball player.
And she's also very talented. They do these really cool stories together. And he's a wonderful father and very dedicated to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to play, again, I'm starting this show with about two fathers, Ray Petlin and J.D. Vance, and how different men approach their lives differently. So listen to this clip that Ray, how many people have seen this, honey?
37 million on TikTok.
Which, by the way, we've heard our whole careers that people don't want to hear about good things, right? Which is why we talk about tragedy all the time.
Yeah, this is a beautiful
This disproves them and it makes them all look like idiots. How many people again?
37
million. Okay, listen to this. He did this yesterday.
ICADETH PETELIN.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A doctor. A teacher. Maybe a teacher, a doctor, or a magician. A million things. A waitress. I want to make a food place. A baker. Maybe a teacher.
Open heart surgeon.
Oh, all right. Okay. So what that was, it's hard to kind of translate onto radio, but what that was is the montage of videos, right, sweetheart?
He interviewed her every single first day. Yeah, Ray Petlin interviewed his daughter Elizabeth every first day of school from kindergarten all the way through this year, which is her senior year of high school, and then he put it together in a montage, and it is just so touching. He asks her not only what, she wants to be when she grows up, which is adorable, but then he says in every video, I love you, your mom and I love you, and it's just, oh my gosh, so sweet. It's hard not to get a little choked up.
So there you go. So then this was J.D. Vance's contribution as he talks about teachers. And I'm going to play two J.D. Vance clips. And I'm not trying to get political here. I'm just trying to tell you that there's a way to approach life and there's a way that you shouldn't approach life. And as I've said before, I'm not picking sides here. I thought by reading J.D. Vance's book that was brilliant and seeing the movie that was brilliant, actually we both loved it. Did we not, honey?
Oh, it's a great book. Yeah, it's really interesting.
And the movie was riveting.
Yeah.
Riveting. Big stars.
It follows the book.
And now there's this stuff he says that kind of makes you wonder what the hell's going through his mind. So this is a clip that has now gone viral where he criticizes any teachers that have kids. Okay, listen, this is J.D. Vance. Listen to this.
And I think our conservative idea is that parents and families should determine what children learn, what values they are brought up with. So many of the leaders of the left, and I hate to be so personal about this, but they're people without kids trying to brainwash the minds of our children. And that really disorients me and it really disturbs me. Randy Weingarten, who's the head of the most powerful teachers union in the country, she doesn't have a single child. If she wants to brainwash and destroy the minds of children, she should have some of her own and leave ours the hell alone.
So let me read this verbatim, and then we'll play it one more time. I think our conservative idea is that parents and families should determine what children learn, what values that are brought up with. So many of the leaders of the left, and I hate to be so personal about this, but they're people without kids trying to brainwash the minds of our children. That really disorients me, and it really disturbs me. Randy Weingarten, a president of the teachers union, who's the head of the most powerful teaching union in the country, she doesn't have a single child. She wants to brainwash and destroy the minds of children. She should have some of her own and leave ours the hell alone. I find that despicable. I find that disgusting. I find that so troublesome. And by the way, we've crossed this plane before with J.D. Vance. And again, I'm picking sides in this election. But you got to wonder about a man who decides your value is judged by how many kids he thinks you should have. And if you don't have kids, you're a bad person and you're ruining the lives of children. Samantha, it seems like we've crossed this road before with J.D. Vance, have we not?
Oh, yeah, with the comment he made about
kittens.
The cat ladies.
Listen to this. Yep. Play the cat lady clip. It's bizarre to me.
What I was basically saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children.
What the hell's he talking about? All this in the context of this message I received last night from one of my boys, who's very successful, who's one of my close friends, and who I converse with several times in a week. Here's what he says. Legacy media is going to give her, Kamala Harris, the White House. I have never been so down on what's occurring in our country. So in the context of what you just heard, is it my fault if they fail? In the context of what you just heard, is it really the media's fault if the man who wants to be vice president says that a teacher is worthless and brainwashing children unless she goes out and has herself some kids? Is it really the media's fault if the guy who wants to be vice president makes those asinine, ignorant, sophomoric, juvenile, fourth grade comments about women that don't have children? What do you call them? What are they called? Lonely cat ladies?
Childless cat ladies.
Childless cat ladies.
And they brought cats into it.
At the end of the day, what are we talking about here in America? It's my fault. It's the media's fault that these guys step in it every friggin' day. Hey, man, say all you want about me or legacy media or Trump. Stop the blame game. When you've got candidates out there just throwing softballs, we got to hit them. We're home run guys. And the truth hurts and the truth stings. And I find it revolting and obnoxious that a man determines the value of a woman and her success or failure based on whether or not she has kids. To hell with that. Talk to any woman out there that struggled mightily to have a child. Seriously, talk to them. Talk to any teacher out there that has saved the lives of children. And now because she can't have kids, she's worthless? That's not legacy media bringing these people down. No, this is self-induced, self-inflicted ignorance. From the Pgh Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. We have a couple of traffic troubles for you out on the roads. One, this accident in Harrison Township. So coming out of the Allegheny Valley, maybe trying to access Route 28 this morning on Burtner Road, you're going to find slowdowns around an accident that's on Burtner right at the ramps to Route 28, so leave extra time around that. Franklin Road at Minnock Drive in Pine Township, we have wires down and crews on the scene of that, so you'll find delays there. Parkway West inbound continues to have delays that greet you just before the top of Green Tree Hill, all the way into the Fort Pitt tunnels. Heading outbound toward the airport this morning, definitely the better ride on the Parkway West at this point. Parkway East inbound, you line up between Wilkinsburg and Edgewood Swissvale as you make your way into the Squirrel Hill tunnels. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Hey, it's Marty. Football season, baby. You know what that means? It's going to get cold, and that means Universal Windows Direct. Lifetime warranty. Unbelievable technology. It will keep your house warm. I promise. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 4, get 4 free. There's no limit. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months. Fabulous. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003.
Traffic brought to you by Friendship Village of South Hills. Support comes from Friendship Village of South Hills, a resort-style senior living community providing hospitality to Pittsburgh residents in search of stability, new connections, and new adventures. More information at friendshipvillagepa.com.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter. Locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Lowe's knows Labor Day calls for big savings. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $750 when you buy 2 or more select major appliances priced $396 or more. And My Lowe's Rewards members get 3 bags of premium 2 cubic foot color mulch for just $10. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowes.com/terms. Subject to change. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
You know what I'm doing? I'm calling Coit, and here's why. My friends at Coit have an amazing deal right now. Coit Clean before the fall. Check it out. Take 30% off your first Coit cleaning, and then take 50% off any second service. Incredible savings. Carpets, rugs, drapes, air ducts. No one has been in more Pittsburgh homes than Coit, and no one cleans homes better than Coit. 1-800-FOR-COIT, 1-800-FOR-COIT. Love Coit.
Guys, erectile dysfunction is rough. You know it, and she knows it too. New Flow Men's Health is the local leader in treating ED successfully. No pills, no injections, no games. Call New Flow at 412-784-9000. That's 412-784-9000.
Hey guys, it's Marty. I've been friends with Rob Pierce, Robert Pierce and Associates, for nearly 20 years. We have established a relationship about law, about protecting folks, about fighting for people for a long, long time. Last week, I'm talking to Rob at Robert Pierce and Associates about these diet drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy. Look, now folks are having serious side effects from these drugs. Throwing up, nausea, horrible, horrible side effects. And Rob Pierce and Associates, they've been at this 40 years. They're ready to take on these lawsuits. They're ready to fight for you. They have the experts. They have the free consultation ready to go. They have the experience in these cases. And look, I've seen it. They work, and they work hard. 412-281-7229. Rob Pierce, Robert Pierce and Associates.
Serious savings at your local Parmar store. Dan Zang really reminding you to download the Parmar Stores app and save big. Get 3 cooler beverage items with your Parmar Rewards card and get 10 cents off per gallon of gas. And remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Building owners, my friends at NASCO Roofing, they're experts in replacing flat roofs for commercial, industrial, and residential buildings. With many flat roof material choices, you want NASCO's experienced pros on your roof. Benefit from their experience and their lifetime warranty on materials and labor. Call NASCO Roofing today for a free flat roof estimate. 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. NASCO Roofing, spelled NASCO, the region's flat roof experts.
CBS Eye on Veterans from ConnectingVets.com. Navy veteran Jason Stuckey has gone on to become a highly successful franchise owner. His experience in the Navy helped him hone his management skills, but he'll never forget or forgive how the don't ask, don't tell policy in the 90s ruined many service members' careers.
So here's the thing. I just got through telling my grandfather, my conservative grandfather, that I'm gay. I have no problem telling you I'm gay. And as I was going through the checkout process, the Navy doctor was outraged by it. The personnel officer who checked me out was outraged by it. And when I got back to Japan, the officer that was still there, he was like, he goes, I cannot believe we're throwing away a good sailor over something so trivial and stupid.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children.
And I think our conservative idea is that parents and families should determine what children learn, what values they are brought up with. You know, so many of the leaders of the left, and I hate to be so personal about this, but they're people without kids trying to brainwash the minds of our children.
That's enough. So many people to the left are, what he says is so many people to the left are people without kids trying to brainwash the minds of our children. And then he talks about the teachers union president says she doesn't have a single child. What the hell's wrong with him? Now, I want you to tell me, you're out there, you're listening. Tell me how that's okay. Tell me how you can support that. Tell me how that's someone you would want to be president of the United States, because as we're seeing, as history tracks itself here, these VPs are now more significant than ever, and if Trump gets elected, he'll be almost 80 years old and in decline, as you notice by his most recent blathering. So this guy could be president, and if you're a woman out there, you ain't whole because you can't have kids. And if you're a woman out there, you're not effective because you can't have kids. And if you're a woman out there, you're stupid because you can't have kids. 866-391-1020. Tell me about that. Tell me that's okay with you. I want to hear from you Trumpers out there. I'm not taking a side in this election. No. I'm telling you the damn truth. Every single day. Look, I get, if you want to count Facebook and Instagram, I get thousands of people, thousands of comments on stuff that I post. And every single friggin' day, you blame everything happening to poor Donald on the mainstream media. So now I guess it's my fault and our fault that J.D. Vance said this stuff. By the way, the comments about the cats, the comments about the teachers union president, all happened in the last 2 years. This was not yesterday. But he hasn't backed down, and he hasn't changed his mind, and he hasn't retracted it. 866-391-1020. So somehow this is legacy media's fault, Marty Griffin's fault. Spare me. Really spare me. Prove me wrong here. Tell me how this is the guy you want to be president. Tell me how this is the guy you want to set up policy that affects your children and my children. Tell me. Go ahead, Glenn.
Marty, I'd love to tell you. Answer me this first, though.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Have your mechanic.
Here we go.
Have your mechanic work? Okay, can I talk?
You can try.
Would you have your mechanic?
You can try. You seem to be stumbling, but go ahead.
Would you have your mechanic work on your car that's never driven one? Would you have someone teach your kids to swim that's never been in a pool? Think about those before you hang up on me because I disagree.
I have no idea what mechanics in a swimming pool have to do with women having kids. Try another metaphor that means something. Goof. What the hell does that have to do with this guy saying childless cat ladies run this country? This guy saying that teachers that don't have kids are idiots. So now you're saying that any woman that doesn't have a kid is incapable. My man, I don't want you to teach my kids to swim or fix my damn car. Last I checked. What's up, John? Go ahead. John. Oh, he hung up. He's afraid of me. Get in line. What the hell's that guy talking about with swimming, his swimming pool? Huh? He's trying to metaphor. Oh, I get it. My man. What he's saying is women are stupid and incompetent and inept unless they have kids. To which I would say to you, sir, have you ever sat down with a woman and a man who spent $150,000 of money they didn't have trying to have one kid? You haven't felt pain till you've been in that room, sir. Go ahead, Susan.
I'm a woman, and I still support him. You can pull out whatever soundbite you want. You can take anything out of context.
How is that out of context? Hold on. How the hell is that out of context?
I don't care.
Obviously you don't.
What he says.
What? What? You don't care what he says? She hung up. You can't, as my man Jack Nicholson would say, you can't handle the truth. That's a line that they should use in all of their television commercials. Trump and Vance, you don't care what I say. Vote for me. I'll set you free. So when I went to physical, and it's a physical therapy joint in Monroeville for balance for me personally. It's really changed everything about my balance. I couldn't do rock climbing. I can now. I felt uneasy coming downstairs in the morning. I feel great now. I'm serious. It's amazing what they do at physical. Physical. Physical, 412-457-8200. It's in Monroeville, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Physical, 412-457-8200.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Fantasy freaks and geeks. What's cracking? It's your boy James Coe back with my brand new project, the Sleeper King Football Podcast. Look, I get it, okay? There's a lot of fantasy pods out there, but we're going to keep this one light. 15 to 20 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week. And man, we are going to pack it with all the info you need. Season long, weekly projections, and of course, sleepers. Follow and listen to the Sleeper King Football Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
81 and partly cloudy. At 10:30, I'm Paul Rasmussen. Pittsburgh Public School District leaders hosted the first of 4 community input sessions last night. News Radio KDKA's Rob Taylor has more.
Tuesday night was the first in-person community input session at Pittsburgh Allegheny on the north side, where about 50 parents continued to express their concerns directly to PPS Superintendent Wayne Walters and other PPS leaders. The issue at hand, the district wants to close 16 schools and no longer have schools that are K through 8 or 6 through 12. Also, most elementary magnet schools would be phased out, aside from Montessori School. The district says eliminating most magnets would give all elementary students a base education, which would allow them to apply to magnet schools at the middle and high school levels, but that didn't sit too well with most parents on Tuesday night.
The next community input session is Tuesday, September 3rd at Alderdice High School from 6 to 8 p.m. In an effort to win back blue-collar votes, Democrats John Fetterman and Chris DeLuzio announced Tuesday a plan called Make Stuff Here. The lawmakers from Braddock and Aspinwall held a news conference Tuesday at the Carpenters Training Center in Collier Township. DeLuzio said their agenda calls for strengthening union jobs and boosting manufacturing.
I don't think it was ever patriotic to outsource jobs, to let pensions go at risk of disappearing, to let our infrastructure go to crap, to union bust, to ship good union jobs to China or wherever else had the cheapest environmental or labor rules.
Some of the proposals include targeted tariffs on goods from China, Russia, and Iran, along with tax credits for U.S. steelmakers. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 5 points at 41,248. The NASDAQ is down 56 points. The S&P down about 3. KDKA Radio News Time 10:31. Our next update at 11 on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
Prices keep rising, but Social Security isn't keeping up with inflation. Seniors are struggling, and Senator Bob Casey's votes made things worse. Casey voted repeatedly for higher taxes on Social Security benefits. Doesn't Casey know that seniors can't afford higher taxes? Casey backed President Biden's agenda 98% of the time, including trillions in wasteful spending. All that spending didn't help lower prices. In fact, it drove inflation even higher. And Senator Casey wasted our tax dollars on COVID relief checks for violent criminals. That's right. Casey voted to send COVID relief checks to convicted murderers and rapists in jail. That's less for us, more for convicts. Call Senator Casey at 202-224-6324. Tell him to put Pennsylvania seniors and families first and fix his inflation disaster. Support S575, the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act. Paid for by One Nation, OneNationAmerica.org.
John Perry is one of my close friends. He's also one of the best attorneys in the country. Medical malpractice, catastrophic injury, Rosen and Perry. Look at the results, man. Look at the accolades. I've had family members go there. I've had friends go there because of their success. Serious about this. They are the professionals. Rosen and Perry. 412-281-4200. Rosen and Perry. Call them. Ask for John. 412-281-4200.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings, very possible. Playoffs, highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
UPMC saved my life. It's just the truth. And when I had cancer. And now they prolong my life. Seriously. I have been in what's called swallow therapy. I had choked 4 times. Heimlich maneuver 4 times. Now, nothing. Now, clear path. Now, I feel safe and secure with the therapy I received at UPMC. It's an amazing place. Life-saving, life-changing information. UPMC.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
From the Pgh Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, thank you. Very busy late morning here for the Wednesday. First responders working to clear an accident in Hampton Township. This is on Duncan Avenue at Grand Avenue. In East Hills, crews also working with an accident. This on Frankstown Avenue at Brushton Avenue. Franklin Road at Minnick Drive in Pine Township is the scene of some downed wires, and crews are on the scene with that. And they also continue to clear an accident in Harrison Township on Burtner Road at the ramps to Route 28. AAA traffic on the 5s, where it's time to go to the elder law attorneys of Zachariah Brown. Visit PittsburghElderlaw.com. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Times of sun and clouds for the rest of our Wednesday. Hot and humid. Watch out for a heavy gusty thunderstorm later this afternoon. High 95. Warm and sticky tonight with a thunderstorm or two around. Again, there can be some gusty winds and hail with any thunderstorm. The low 68. For AccuWeather, I'm Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This is attorney Christine Brown-Murphy with the law firm of Zachariah Brown. If you have a loved one in a nursing home, we need to talk. Give our office a call at 724-942-6200 or visit our website at PittsburghElderlaw.com.
All right, it's hot, really hot. And there's also Pirates baseball. So you'll catch me afterward. Colin Dunlap with you after Pirate baseball till 6 o'clock today, right here, KDKA.
If it were a Springsteen song, he would sing, "My city in ruins." Ha! That's how you would take away from the 10-page, man, what I would call a nasty letter, an homage to the failure of the police department. Written, late last week by Bob Schwartzwalder, the union president. Police union president says the department is in shambles. It's a pretty heavy word. Larry, Chief, you tell me, is your department in shambles, sir?
My department is in a great place, and I am not disillusioned. We always have the opportunity to improve our services, improve our work environment, our work conditions, our salaries, etc. We're always looking to improve. But to suggest that it's in shambles is just disingenuous in every way. He doesn't get to speak for the rank and file, and for somebody that represents the rank and file, I think he should be more thoughtful about the way in which he criticizes their work. Uplifting is how I look at it. He is doom and gloom, and it doesn't benefit the department. It doesn't benefit the city. Our officers do great work every day. And when you speak that way, it diminishes the professionalism, the commitment, the sacrifice that they make by tarnishing their work environment. For what? And that's the question I always ask. Like, what is the end goal of that type of criticism?
Well, the end goal is pay him or they walk away. That's his argument. Yeah. Pay me or I'm out of here.
And we don't disagree. But over the course of the decade that the president represented this union, depending on how you measure it, he'll have lost 19 to 22% of their salary.
How is that?
Because of negotiations. When you're the master negotiator and you leave percentages on the table in negotiation processes for other things that you're attempting to get and don't achieve or attain, it costs us money, and we can never get money back. You want to be paid similar as our counterparts around the county, then we can't continue to leave money on the table. And over a decade, it'll be upward of 22%.
Larry Gerardo is a cop's cop. I was just telling him this, and I've been around a lot of cops, as he knows. My wife knows. Patrick knows. I never hear them talking smack on you, ever. But this letter pretty much says you're a failure and that you're lied, right? And that you have misrepresented yourself as a leader to this department. How do you respond?
Right. And I said, look at our work. Go out into the real world where I live every day and speak to our officers, speak to our cops, and then determine if, whether it's in downtown, whether it's in the South Side Entertainment Patrol, whether it's the Violence Prevention Unit, who has seized 70 guns since they've been in operation since February. Those are decisions that I'm taking personnel out of roles that were traditionally less impactful in reduction of violence. And that's our obligation every day.
Reducing SWAT, for instance.
For SWAT. So he uses the word decimate.
Right.
I believe in that.
He says you decimated the SWAT team.
So there it is. So the tactical operations section is one less person than it had in 2022. The SWAT team right now has 23 people in a 3-week certification course right now, trial course right now. So we are always going to focus on keeping our city safe. So when you say decimate, if you removed one person from a 5-person unit, if that's decimation to ensure that we have more personnel downtown during the business hours, Monday through Friday, keeping downtown safe, or on the south side or on a violence prevention unit, then I guess one officer is decimated.
And Larry, how do you fix this challenge between what he's saying and what you're saying? I mean, now it's in the public. Ideally, these conversations happen behind closed doors. You resolve disagreements. How do you bridge this now, I don't know, kind of divide?
You know, I still have an obligation to represent this organization and do what's best for the department and our community. So I have 2 responsibilities, where his is purely to the officers in the bargaining unit. And in that, I don't usually air our dirty laundry in a public forum because I don't think it's productive for the organization. Again, it's not very productive for our officers and the way in which they view the work environment that they live in. So I don't see much benefit to it, but I also know that I have an obligation to continue to come to the table in good faith to remedy whatever issue he believes the organization is being aggrieved about.
Are you hearing the same thing from the officers, that are reporting to you, and not just from him, these same things?
No, very, very different responses, very different communication and engagement with the officers, which is why I wonder then who he speaks to, right? Who are the people that suggest that this is the condition of the organization, or is it just his perception because we are in disagreement about some fundamental issues in the department right now?
And one of his criticisms is how many people are on the force. What are your thoughts right now on how many more people you need and how quickly you can get them boots on the ground?
I'm not disillusioned for a moment that it is really difficult to attract people to this profession nationally. The county, Monroeville, one of the better paying departments in the county, and their last application process had 26.
It's in.
Right? People be lining up by the hundreds for 2 jobs, right? And so to suggest that we're not making effort that's the disingenuous part that I take exception with. We are willing to hire. We are working actively to recruit. We are working actively to expedite processes so that people get hired faster. But you still have to have 200 candidates for about 30 jobs. Our burn rate's 1 in 5. So if we have 200 applicants or going into a process, we may get a class of 25, class of 40. We don't know how people are going to disqualify or fell out of the process. But the objective is to still hire. We were supposed to put on 3 classes in 2024. We're going to end up with 2 because we don't have enough applicants to fulfill that, to fill a 3rd class.
Chief, in that letter, he talks about dangerously low levels, and he shows numbers of supervisors that are not in the field. And he talks about money. He says, all you guys, the big shots, you got your raises. None of your folks were laid off. You're protected. But yet his people are being decimated. Is that fair?
No, it's unfair. And without speaking specifically to some of the offers that we have made, and we will continue to make, we have been very forward thinking in how we're going to compensate our officers over the next 3 or so years. It's been refused. And I said this when I came on, if there's a time that I feel that our numbers put our officers at risk or our community or makes our community unsafe, I will speak to it publicly, own it. There's no reason for me to hide such a thing. I'm never going to put our officers in jeopardy. And to suggest that in this letter,
it did,
and can't find instances where our officers were in an unsafe environment, where our community is burning, right? Our violence and the diminishing numbers in homicides and non-fatal shootings is indicative of the work that our officers do, but it's also indicative that we are appropriately staffed in operations. And that's where our focus is. And if it means removing people from the motor unit to fulfill that, removing people from tactical operations to fulfill that, we're going to continue to do that because that's my charge.
I mean, I see this as, I know you made some significant changes, and change is always hard in any organization. Do you think that some of what's going on is these growing pains of making these transitions that you've made, of moving personnel in different places where that hasn't been the history?
Yeah, you're correct. I believe that's accurate assessment, is that, change for police don't like change, but we also hate the way things are, right? And when you think of it that way, there's going to be pushback from some. Now, how much you allow their voice to impact decisions is what I have to weigh. And in that, I look at what is the totality of our organization, the way in which a majority of our personnel feel about the way and direction the department's going versus the small percentage of the department that will never accept any of the changes that we make, because they have no desire to be a part.
Did you lie to them about a $10,000 raise? Were they promised $10,000 raise, which is in the letter, and that was taken away or never brought up?
There was no lie. That is a decision that I know I have no ability to bargain directly with the officers. So my communication's always with the FOP president, and that is something he flatly rejected. He wrote it in an email to the organization and to the membership. So not my lie. My position's clear. I want to compensate my officers well for the work that they do, and I want them to be on par with those around the county and ensuring that we are treating them as the professionals that they are and display every day. And to do that, it also comes with a financial cost, right? And nobody more than me wants to ensure our officers are paid well and paid appropriately.
We're going to be right back. From the Pgh Fitzpatrick Home Group Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, it's a busy morning out there, Marty. We do have Mapleton Avenue between Shady Drive and Darby Way in Mount Lebanon. Crews on the scene of a vehicle into a structure. First responders working to clear an accident. This in Hampton Township, Duncan Avenue at Grand Avenue. Crews are on the scene of an accident in Harrison Township on Burtner Road at the ramps to Route 28. And we do have the Cordell and Cordell traffic cameras fired up over the remnants of the rush hour. Parkway West is at the top of Green Tree Hill, and you'll line up on the Parkway East between Wilkinsburg and Edgewood Swissvale. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Lacina Drapery and Blind Factory, Pittsburgh's custom window treatment leader for over 60 years. Free shop at home service, huge selection of blinds and drapery fabrics, factory direct prices. Call 412-665-4900 or visit lacinadrapery.com.
Labor Day signals that fall is fast approaching. Apple picking, fall leaves, and chilly nights are on the horizon. With Legacy Box, you can cozy up and watch something special this fall. Your family's home movies. Legacy Box is the simple, safe, all-inclusive solution for preserving your family's memories, trapped on videotapes, film, even photos. After 10 years in business, Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer. They've helped over 1 million families relive their wedding days, babies' first steps, and family road trips. Just fill Legacy Box with your VHS tapes, film reels, or pictures. Legacy Box digitizes it all by hand right here in the USA and then sends it back on a thumb drive or the cloud. Future-proof your recorded moments today so you can gather the family and begin the trip down memory lane. Plus, for a limited time, they're offering 55% off. Go to legacybox.com/value to get 55% off. That's legacybox.com/value.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum preferred roofing company.
You know what's the best French toast? I'm serious. Oakmont Bakery. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They have crepes or crepes. They're unbelievable. I swear they fill them with mascarpone and strawberries, butter, sugar, Nutella. It's unbelievable. Did I say unbelievable? I guarantee this. Oakmont Bakery, the Oakmont Bakery has the best breakfast you will ever eat in your life. Delicious.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Hey, it's Marty. Football season, baby. You know what that means? It's going to get cold, and that means Universal Windows Direct. Lifetime warranty. Unbelievable technology. It will keep your house warm, I promise. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 4, get 4 free. There's no limit. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months. Fabulous. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003.
Every child deserves a safe and loving home. CASA of Westmoreland is dedicated to making this a reality. Our court-appointed special advocates give a voice to abused and neglected children in the foster care system. You can be that difference in a child's life. Volunteer with CASA and help guide a child to a brighter future. Visit casaofwestmoreland.org today to learn more. That's casaofwestmoreland.org. Together, we can change lives, one child at a time.
Hey, guys, Marty. Had 2 great meals with my wife in the last month. Both of them at Oakmont. Both of them at restaurants owned by my good friend J.K., the man. Okay, the Lot. I'm not exaggerating. The best brunch I've ever had at the Lot. I'm serious. The best dinner I've had in a year. Hofstadt's. They're in the same town. They're on the same strip. They're owned by the same man. The Lot and Hofstadt's. JK delivers. Great stuff.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in today's economy, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Your assets and finances are scrutinized. Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Offices in downtown Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Schedule an appointment with one of our Pittsburgh or Cranberry area attorneys. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. CordellCordell.com.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Mike from New Jersey asks, my wife and I are in our early 30s. We've been saving up cash now and have 6 figures in a high-yield savings account with the hopes of using it for a down payment for a first-time home purchase. Should we keep the account as is or invest it, considering we may still have some time before we actually enter the real estate market? Well, Mike, if you think this house purchase will happen within the next year or two, then I would leave the cash where it is. But if you see it going beyond 3, 4, 5 years, then maybe consider investing at least some of the money. I hope that helps.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I asked Union President Bob Schwartzwalder to listen. He actually wrote the letter, the 10-page letter. As everybody that listens knows, I love Bob because he's always available, because he's insanely thorough, because he's insanely committed to this department. So, Chief, Larry Sherrod was with us. So here's Bob. Interesting. So the mayor guarantees the $10,000 for 2025? This is him to you. Then why was a contract extension never discussed by the chief? That's his question, sir.
Whenever this was, so because he's bringing this forward, now I'm allowed to speak about it. Whenever this was discussed at the onset, it was for the 12-hour shifts. There was consideration, and needed to be consideration, that to reopen the contract that we would want to do so in 27 and 28.
I see.
And in that we would make the appropriate raises to match that extension. He flat out rejects that as a condition of reopening. So if that is the case, there's nothing, I don't have the ability to make that decision on behalf of the bargaining unit, only he does. And in that, he has no interest in pursuing those extended years within the contract that makes sense for us.
So there will be no $10,000, what you're saying?
We are still working toward a presentation of what that would look like. So in that, on the city side, we're still committed to moving forward with this agreement. And when we have a document to present, which is what he suggested he needs to put in front of the membership, he will be the first to know, and he will be the only person that we negotiate with if we get there.
He raises questions about what he calls your staffing numbers, and he puts them in red, and he says that the actual staff is below your published numbers, not the FOPs. Is that fair?
I don't know what document he uses to make that inference. When we use InTime, which is our asset management software, we have minimum staffing, and it was at his direction and prompting with the officers that we were mandating at a record pace. We mandated, I think, 3 officers in the course of 9 months, right? So we have set standards for what we know or what we believe to make sure, maintain officer safety and community safety. And in that, our sergeants count toward that number. He conveniently leaves out as if they're not police officers. They are out in patrol. They're out in operations. They're answering calls for service, just like a rank and file officer or an officer would. So he dismisses them as not part of this patrol asset or this patrol allocation, and it's just inaccurate. And so therefore, they follow the staffing guidance, and when they do, it's supported. And when they're going to hire over top of the staffing guidance and when they're going to hire in excess, they just need to justify why.
This really hacked you off, this letter. I rarely see you angry. You're actually angry.
It's unfair, and it's not, listen, I am an adult professional who's compensated well to sit in this role. Understand the responsibility that comes with being the chief. It's not, if it was directed at me to challenge me and improve the organization, I would be more than receptive to go through each one of these items on the 10-page War and Peace novel, right? But it wasn't. It was a bunch of bloviating half-truths that spoke generally with no context. And context matters in all of the things that he wrote. And if you believe that the doom and gloom exists within this organization, then I just feel sad. I feel sad for him because that's his inputs. When people call him it's a tough job. It's an impossible job. So I don't diminish the value in which the FOP president has in an organization. But when they call him, it's a grievance. It's an issue. They don't call me and swear at me with the same.
So the department's not in shambles.
I don't believe the department's in shambles. I believe we are a great organization. We are a leader in a lot of places, whether it's in community engagements, whether it's our ability to impact violent crime and our partnerships with our community, and that our officers are well respected. And we continue to work to ensure that we show them we appreciate them, we recognize their sacrifices, and we support them every day. And I won't allow anyone to challenge that environment without fact. If there's something on here that's factually inaccurate, let me know, willing to discuss. But a lot of this is, again, decimate.
But in the real world, before you go, I got to ask, there is no way in hell you will ever be able to pay these guys $100,000 base that other departments are. There's no way it'll ever happen, right?
That's inaccurate.
So that could happen.
That could happen. That could happen. If we increase the salaries by 22% over the course of 3 years, that puts us on target with most police departments in the county.
And you say it's Bob's fault that you're not there.
I'm saying there's an unwillingness to negotiate in that space. I don't have the ability to reopen the contract. Only the FOP president has the ability to put that in front of his membership for contract ratification.
Chief, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Building owners, my friends at NASCO Roofing, they're experts in replacing flat roofs for commercial, industrial, and residential buildings. With many flat roof material choices, you want NASCO's experienced pros on your roof. Benefit from their experience and their lifetime warranty on materials and labor. Call NASCO Roofing today for a free flat roof estimate. 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000. NASCO Roofing, spelled NASCO, the region's flat roof experts.
One person dies from heart disease every 33 seconds. Do everything you can not to be the one. Understanding your risk factors, like your cholesterol, blood pressure, and BMI, could save your life. Our experts at the nationally recognized UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute are here to help you get your heart health on track. Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to schedule an appointment.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
84 and partly cloudy skies at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Pittsburgh's police chief is responding to allegations in a public letter from the police union leader. In that letter, FOP President Bob Schwartzwelder said staffing changes have left the department in shambles. The union leader says SWAT officers and traffic patrols are being decimated to serve on specialized patrols downtown. In an interview moments ago with KDK Radio's Marty Griffin, Chief Larry Scarrato said, as an example, one officer has been reassigned from the Tactical Operations Section.
If that's decimation to ensure that we have more personnel downtown during the business hours Monday through Friday, keeping downtown safe, or on the south side or on a violence prevention unit, then I guess one officer is decimated.
Concerning the FOP president's letter, Scarrato said he doesn't think it's productive to air the Bureau's dirty laundry in public. Drivers heading northbound on I-79 and Route 60 are being notified of intermittent traffic stoppages today between 11:30 and 3 p.m. PennDOT says the stoppages of 15 minutes or less will take place before the Crafton Moon Run exit off-ramp and in both directions on Steubenville Pike at the I-79 interchange. The afternoon and evening commute could be challenging. Thunderstorms are expected to flare up.
Best chance of seeing those probably going to be mid to late afternoon or early tonight, so I would think that the evening commute is probably going to be more impacted than any other time with that threat of severe weather.
More from AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg coming up in the forecast. The Republican nominee for State Attorney General says his key strategy to cut crime in the Commonwealth is focusing on mental health issues. David Sunday was Colin Dunlap's guest Tuesday on KDKA Radio and said about 75% of all crime in Pennsylvania can be traced to mental illness.
It is so important. And you can't have economic development. You can't have safe schools. You can't have safe and secure families and communities unless you do the hard work to make it our community safe.
Democratic AG nominee Eugene DePasquale will be Collins' guest Friday at 3 p.m. A man died late last night in a duplex fire in North Braddock. It happened around 11:30 p.m. in the 900 block of North Avenue. Firefighters found the man inside and say it appears the fire was accidental. The person who lives on the other side of the duplex describes the damage as extensive. A half hour earlier, one person was taken to a hospital from the scene of a fire in Pine Township. The flames broke out there at a home in Heights Drive. That person's condition is unknown. 14 trailers caught fire overnight in Westmoreland County around 4:30 a.m. at Camping World RV Sales. That's on Route 356 in Allegheny Township. The flames were under control in about 45 minutes and there were no injuries. And multiple vehicles were destroyed in an overnight fire in McKeesport. That happened around 3:15 a.m. Several SUVs were burnt out in the parking lot used for police cars and other city vehicles on Lyle Boulevard. There's no word yet if they were torched. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 26 points at 41,277. The Nasdaq down 191. The S&P is down 23 points. KDKA Sports, the Pirates will close out their series with the Cubs today. Paul Skeens is starting for the Bucks, and our coverage gets started at 11:40 here on KDKA Radio. The news is brought to you by Pgh Fitzpatrick, your roofer with thousands of five-star reviews. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 11:03. It's 84 and partly cloudy in Pittsburgh. KDKA AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, it's Marty. Levin's huge Labor Day sale is going on now at all Levin furniture and mattress stores. I love this. My friend Robert Levin and his team, they're providing amazing Labor Day savings. Check this out. Save up to 25% store-wide plus. Save even more on mattresses and hot buys. Levin is also offering 5-year special financing on purchases of over $24.99. Great value. Tremendous savings. Going on right now at the huge Labor Day sale at all Levin furniture and mattress stores. Tell them Marty sent you. From the Pgh Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. And the Cordell and Cordell traffic cameras are looking out live over the area roads and finding some delays in a couple of major arteries heading into downtown. Parkway West is one of them. You're stacking before the top of Green Tree Hill as you try to head for those Fort Pitt tunnels. The outbound ride toward the airport, not too tough right now. Parkway East inbound is slowing for you right around Edgewood Swissvale ahead of the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Reports of an accident now on the north side, Federal at Laycock Streets, and first responders continue to clear an earlier accident. This in Hampton Township on Duncan Avenue at Grand Avenue. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Times of sun and clouds for the rest of today. Hot and humid with a high of 95. Look for a thunderstorm or two later this afternoon into tonight. Any thunderstorm can produce hail and damaging winds and cause flash flooding. The low tonight, 68. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
So, I was on the phone yesterday with Julian Gray. We've become good friends. He's an elder law attorney. I met him, became very close when my parents passed. And he took over our state, had the whole family sitting in his office, made a tremendous difference in our lives. I was talking to him yesterday about how important it is to get an elder law attorney like the folks at Julian Gray. and Associates involved. I'll tell you why. Major tax implications, major health care implications, major input you need from an expert, a true insider like Julian Gray and his folks that made a massive difference in the lives of the Griffin family. It's never too late to do this. It's never too late to plan your estate, but do it as soon as possible. Julian Gray, grayelderlaw.com, grayelderlaw.com. I'm telling you, folks, they did a wondrous job for the Griffin family. 412-458-6000, grayelderlaw.com.
There's always incredible specials at Coons Market.
Ballpark Franks, 15-ounce packages, buy one, get one free. Extra large cantaloupes, 2 for $5. And selected varieties of Coke, Sprite, or Dr. Pepper, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 3 for $15. Come see us at Coons.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Well, how's your day going? So you heard from the chief. I don't know. I've known him for a long time. I've known him as much as I've known Bob. And as I said publicly, and I'll say it privately, I don't care. I think they're both amazing men. Most of their day, they get big shovels of crap dumped on their heads. And they manage it magnificently. They just do. Bob has always been a man of integrity and honesty. With us, he has never said no, ever, in the most dire of circumstances. And Larry has been up front like no police chief I've ever known in my life. And I mean that. It's very unusual. But Larry dumped on the union president, Bob Schwartzwalder. Why do you care? Because this affects the city and your public safety and every single cop out there. And I had the opportunity to have Bob listen, and I wanted to grab him because in the interest of fairness. What's up, man?
Good morning, Marty. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Well, you heard it. He said you lied. He said your numbers are wrong. He said you turned down money. He laid a lot of this on you, that you spew negativism, and in essence, bringing the department down. Jump in here, please.
Well, first of all, we'll talk about the numbers first that you see in the letter.
Right.
Those are the chief's numbers. That's why I put in there the staffing guidance numbers, and we fall below the staffing guidance. If you remember the letter that I wrote to them was, well, where's the guidance for when you fall below the numbers? So that wasn't even addressed on your show.
Yeah, it was. He said you didn't include the sergeants, that the numbers were accurate. He said sergeants are cops too.
They're included. Yeah, if you look at the spreadsheet that I gave you, I'll say they were minus the numbers with a sergeant. If you look at, well, I didn't give it to you, but you know where you got the letter. So you look at, so it says with sergeants, you'll see those numbers are right there. With sergeants, they fall below. Now let's talk about the contract.
Right.
I thought it was interesting whenever you asked him the direct question, did the mayor offer that? And he immediately sidestepped that and said, well, since he brought it up, I could talk about it now, when that's exactly what they are doing. They're going out and they're giving my members misinformation. A contract extension was never discussed. I wish my vice president was around because he was in the room with me for all those meetings, and he was sitting right next to me. And he would tell you the same thing I'm going to tell you. The contract extension was a straight ambush, and that came right from the mayor. And we never knew anything about a contract extension. And just so your listeners are clear, because I don't like to do insider baseball on your show, but just so your listeners are clear, our contract expires at the end of 2025, not 2027 or 2028. The new contract would take effect in 2026. So they're playing a game because the mayor's up for re-election. He doesn't want to have to deal with a contract negotiation in 2025 for the 2026 year because he's got enough problems because his polling numbers are bad. So they didn't want to have to deal with this. So this is an end run around collective bargaining, and they're misleading regular members of the FOP that hire me and my other executive board to handle these problems, but they can mislead people that don't have the same information.
Hey, Bob, he said something that I thought was pretty heavy. He blamed you personally for the fact that he says you passed on 22% raises that the cops would have right now, if not but for you. He laid that on you, sir.
Right, and I'm okay with that. He can lay it on me. But the proof is in the pudding, Marty, right? Show me it in writing. Show me that you offered $10,000 for 2025 because you asked him that pointed question. He ducked it. He went all the way around it. There was no $10,000 offer for 2025, which was the point of the original discussion. For 1 year, it was $10,000 to go to a 12-hour shift. We went into that meeting with the mayor and the public safety director since he wants to make up information. We went into that meeting, and right away they come in with a contract extension. None of the terms were clear. They ambushed us with those facts. You can't do that to me.
And how would you get a 22% raise if it wasn't for a multi-year extension?
Well, no, that's their idea.
Right.
That's their idea.
Right.
The problem is they want to add the $10,000. Well, that's what you're going to pay for the 12s. Because when you put my members on 12-hour shifts, their lives will be turned upside down. Upside down. Because now they're going to 12 hours. They don't even know what overtime would look like, how many hours in a day they're going to work. All these things they don't want to tell your listeners, but I know that to be true.
So do you take responsibility, like he says, that you should take responsibility for the cops not getting 20?
This is not, absolutely not. That's not how it's done. You have a sit-down, you have a legitimate bargaining session, you put your proposals on the line, each side, and you bargain. They don't want to bargain about anything else. They want to go and scare the membership and spew misleading facts and data when it's all misleading. And that's not how it's done. That's not how collective bargaining. I've been doing this longer than any of them.
Right.
The mayor, the chief, any of them. I know how this works. I know how the labor laws work. You should have asked them, hey, man, how come your administration forced widows off of health care? How come they deny retiree medical? How come they do all these things? That's this group here. I've been in litigation. We just had another win where a widow of a retired police officer is entitled to benefits. They kick her off immediately when the police officer dies. This is all them. They're all involved in all this. But see, they won't tell you all this stuff, Marty, because they don't want the general public. And I got it all in legal documents.
Do
you whatever they want to? What's that?
Do you disagree with he says all the numbers, assault numbers, violent crime numbers, homicide numbers suggest we're doing a lot better as a city? Isn't that fair to go by the numbers, sir?
Well, if they want to go by the crime data numbers, I just want to make sure, because one of the numbers that you'll see, if somebody kicks in your front door but they don't enter, they list that as a criminal mischief, not an attempted burglary. So think about that. Somebody kicked in your front door at your home where you and Christina and your children live. They kicked in your front door. Would you just say that was a criminal mischief, Marty, like if they keyed your car versus, hey, somebody tried to get in my home?
So they're lying about the crime numbers or skewing the data.
I'm not even going to say they're lying. I'm going to say, show me what the data really means, because that's how they'll classify that. They won't classify that as an attempted burglary. They'll classify that as criminal mischief.
Do you still believe the city's in shambles?
100%. It's going to get worse. He already told you he can't get enough people to apply for the job. He said that to you. He said we can't get enough to fill the third class.
But he says your attitude brings the other officers down. It's always negative, It just brings them down.
I'm the one that receives comments from my membership, not him. I don't think they're in tune. I don't think they're in touch. They need to really go out and visit the streets. Go out and look at the police stations. They're squalor. Things don't work. They're filthy dirty. Go talk to them. Go talk to their rank and file officers. Go out there, Marty. Say, Chief, can I go out and visit all your stations, take pictures, photographs, check out the way things look, see how the cops are living? Let me actually just talk to the cops, and they can speak with me freely. You should ask for that permission.
He says your letter's a lie. Are you a liar?
Okay. That's what. Oh, well, I'll let you be the decider of that, Marty, and I'll let the listeners be the decider.
Do you take this personally?
Nope.
No.
This is business to me. This is business.
You're going to see him at noon?
Mm-hmm. On a separate meeting on another matter. That's correct.
Is everything okay?
Everything's great. I'm great.
I appreciate both of you. You know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Marty. I think you're fair, and I appreciate the opportunity. But you should just ask them, hey, everything's great in the city. How about I do ride-alongs, go visit the stations, hang out with the cops?
I'll do it.
You know, take a couple of my reporters with me.
I'll do it.
And just ask them.
I'll do it.
If everything's great and crime's down and the cops are happy, just go talk to them.
I'll do it. Thank you, my man.
Not the ones he picks.
All right.
You get to pick. You get to pick.
Starting with you. Bob, thanks, brother.
Yeah. See you, Marty.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
It's amazing. From the Pgh Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up out there?
Some interesting stoppages of traffic. PennDOT has just announced intermittent traffic stoppages beginning shortly today on northbound I-79 and Steubenville Pike, Route 60 in Robinson Township. So traffic stoppages of up to 15 minutes at a time will happen as needed between 11:30 today and 3 p.m. this afternoon. This will be on I-79 just before the Route 60 Crafton Moon Run exit and in both directions on Steubenville Pike at the I-79 interchange. So be prepared for that and avoid the area if at all possible. Crews on the scene of an accident on the north side right now, still working to clear that from Federal Street at Laycock. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Searching for heating or cooling specialists? Call Galeese Services, 412-831-6199, or visit Galeese.com.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Your heart care matters. Trust the experts at UPMC and get your heart screened.
This is Dino Tormina, Principal Officer of Teamsters Local 926. The Executive Board would like to wish our members and their families an enjoyable and safe Labor Day. This holiday is our day to celebrate and our opportunity to recognize and remember the sacrifices made by union members before us. They have shown that your union is only as strong as the members choose to be. Be involved and support your union. Happy Labor Day, sisters and brothers, from Teamsters Local 926. And please remember to get out and vote.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Be Honest bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Prices keep rising, but Social Security isn't keeping up with inflation. Seniors are struggling, and Senator Bob Casey's votes made things worse. Casey voted repeatedly for higher taxes on Social Security benefits. Doesn't Casey know that seniors can't afford higher taxes? Casey backed President Biden's agenda 98% of the time, including trillions in wasteful spending. All that spending didn't help lower prices. In fact, it drove inflation even higher. And Senator Casey wasted our tax dollars on COVID relief checks for violent criminals. That's right. Casey voted to send COVID relief checks to convicted murderers and rapists in jail. That's less for us, more for convicts. Call Senator Casey at 202-224-6324. Tell him to put Pennsylvania seniors and families first and fix his inflation disaster. Support S575, the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act. Paid for by One Nation, OneNationAmerica.org.
You know what I'm calling Coit, and here's why. My friends at Coit have an amazing deal right now. Coit Clean before the fall. Check it out. Take 30% off your first Coit cleaning, and then take 50% off any second service. Incredible savings. Carpets, rugs, drapes, air ducts. No one has been in more Pittsburgh homes than Coit, and no one cleans homes better than Coit. 1-800-FOR-COIT, 1-800-FOR-COIT. Love Coit.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Hey, it's Marty. Football season, baby. You know what that means? It's going to get cold, and that means Universal Windows Direct. lifetime warranty, unbelievable technology. It will keep your house warm. I promise. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 4, get 4 free. There's no limit. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months. Fabulous. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003.
Guys, erectile dysfunction is rough. You know it, and she knows it too. New Flow Men's Health is the local leader in treating ED successfully. No pills, no injections, no games. Call New Flow at 412-784-9000. That's 412-784-9000.
Homeowners, don't let faulty gutters ruin your day. Protect your home from costly damages with Gutter Helmet. Call 888-5HELMET or visit gutterhelmet.com for a free gutter assessment and estimate. Beat the fall rush and save. Get 35% off plus no money down and no interest for 1 year.
Get Marty, brought to you by the law firm of Rosen and Perry. No slogans or gimmicks, just results.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Doo-doo. All right, I want to play 2 sound bites, and there's a lot of back and forth here, but I think it's important that we hear from both the chief and from the union president and from, I know a lot of cops, as you probably know, and I kind of split it down the middle. I know a bunch of cops, and I know they kick ass. They're amazing people, and I see what they're doing downtown, but I still, as I said to the chief, we didn't have the time to get to it. Downtown is still a blank show. There are some major players committing major crimes that are homeless. And as the chief said, well, that's why we arrested a bunch of people who were dealing drugs to the homeless people. They set up a whole new marketplace. Drug dealers downtown found a whole new marketplace. It's frightening. And hold on, I want to grab Patrick on something. We're going to get into this more tomorrow regarding downtown. You have seen, because you spent a lot of time on your bike and on the trails, and we're going to deal with Max tomorrow, but on the same lines of the homeless and the issues with them, you've seen is explosion the right word, of tents?
I would say so.
Where? I forget.
If you remember a few weeks ago on the South Side Trail, they had that big raid and they cleared out the camps.
Yep.
In the last 2 weeks, it's an explosion. They used to be concentrated in 2 little areas. Now you go from the marina down, there's got to be 40-plus tents out there.
All in one area?
No. Spread out along the railroad tracks, in the woods, off the trail. There's several big camps in there.
So it seems like they just keep moving around rather than just everybody being eliminated. Not harmed, but moved out or arrested or cleared out. Just moves.
It's more than what was cleared out before. And the other camps that are out there have also grown. So in the last month, I think we're seeing a larger growth out there.
No problem. I want to play 2 of the sound bites from Larry. By the way, we have a short show today. Baseball. Samantha, play those 2. This is from Larry, the chief. So the department's not in shambles.
I don't believe the department's in shambles. I believe we are a great organization. We are a leader in a lot of places, whether it's in community engagement, whether it's our ability to impact violent crime and our partnerships with our community, and that our officers are well respected. And we continue to work to ensure that we show them we appreciate them, we recognize their sacrifices, and we support them every day. And I won't allow anyone to challenge that environment without fact. If there's something on here that's factually inaccurate, let me know, willing to discuss. But a lot of this is, again, decimate.
Here's another one. And you say it's Bob's. And you say it's Bob's fault that you're not there.
I'm saying there's an unwillingness to negotiate in that space. I don't have the ability to reopen the contract. Only the FOP president has the ability to put that in front of his membership for contract ratification.
There you go. Hopefully the conversations move the ball a bit. What I do know is that a significant number of cops in Pittsburgh have left and are leaving. What I don't know, and there's some ambiguity to our conversations, was there a raise out there that would have put the cops in the $100,000 range and would have put them on the same ground as departments where cops are leaving to? I don't know. But I do know this. There is a dearth of police officers everywhere in the country. Find a department that's full up, and it's not going to be in America. whether it's a federal department or whether it's a state police really hurting. State police, I think they're 700 short. I mean, it's bad. There has been a shift in America, and I see why, because cops have been getting beat up, physically, literally, abused, and they don't want to be cops anymore. Back in the day, it was prideful. It was a big deal to be a cop. Now it's almost shameful, and a lot of guys are saying to hell with it. And I have interviewed Bob Schwartzwalder, and he has said flat out, I would lock my son in my basement before allowing him to be a cop. One of my closest friends who's a cop just is about to have a son, and there's no way in hell he would let him become a cop. It's a very, 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 very difficult time. What's ironic, because I've been doing this stuff for more than 30 years, for the first time in my career, cops are actually getting paid. First time in my life, I meet cops every day that make more than $100,000, and damn it, they should have a long time ago. But they don't want it. Most of the guys, most of the women I know would rather do anything else but become a cop. And outside of Pittsburgh, this is an issue. In every single major city in America, men and women do not want to be cops, regardless of the salary. To which I say, why would they? Why would you take the abuse every single day of your life? You have to be a special person. All right, folks, we will see you tomorrow.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes